Welcome to short and crisp algo trade training from Market Secrets. If you are interested in learning end-to-end algo trading, use the link in the description to join our ATP program. In the last episode, we have learned how to get the details of margin available for trading. So what is the margin or amount available in your trading account to initiate any trades? So how much total margin is available? How to get that data through script. That is what we learned in the last episode. And in this episode, we are going to take it up a step further and we are going to learn how to check the margin required to initiate a specific position. For example, right, if I want to initiate, trade on 1000 shares of SBA, how much margin I would need at this point. That is what, we are going to learn in this particular session today. Okay, so let's get into the session. Okay, so in order to get the margin required, right, you need to use, first create a margin required variable. So just for assignment, I'm creating a dummy variable, and you need to use the my client object, and you need to use margin required API, and you need to call the relevant values to this API to get the margin required. So what are those values that you need to pass? First one is transaction type. What type of transaction it is, whether it's a buy or sell. So there are only two transactions possible. We are going to buy some shares. Okay. So and what is the order info? So order info is nothing but how many shares that you want to trade, which symbol you are going to trade. Those information you need to pass. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create another variable, order details, and I'll pass it through this order details variable. So I'm just going to created a dummy variable and I'm going to use it. Okay, and before we enter the details for order detail parameter, right, I'm just going to print this margin. Okay, so margin required, will print it. So through this API we are actually getting the margin required. I'm just printing it, but for this API to get executed we need order details, which needs to be provided in a specific format. Okay, so we need to give this in a proper format. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so you need to pass it as an array. If you want to trade multiple symbols also, you can pass it one by one. So but in any case, right, it should be passed in the form of array even if it is a single element. And now every element should be in the form of JSON. So I'm just opening a bracket. So first thing you need to give is instrument token. So anything, any position you want to trade, right, first thing is which symbol you are going to trade, which will we generally pass in instrument token. So you need to give that. So here we are going to use the same stock that we have used in the above script, which is SBA. So I'm giving 1900. So how many quantity that I want to trade? So that's obviously the next question. So quantity. So quantity can be maybe 1000 shares of SBA. That's what you can give, and at what price you are going to trade. Okay, so the price is equal to it's trading around 550 or something, right? So I'll give it as 550. So yeah, I missed the double quote, so I'm adding it, and not equal to, yeah, okay, colon. So 500, or yeah, sorry, it's 550, right? So 550, and these are all unnecessary, but it's a standard template. You need to pass it amount and trigger price. Maybe it may be a stop loss order. So in that case we may need trigger price. In this case it is not, but if you want this to be a stop loss order as well, by and if TAS is 550 or something, then your trigger price can be 550 and your execution price can be 560. So this is how you need to frame this order details. So what I'm going to do is like how much amount I would need, how much margin I would need to initiate trades on SBA stock for 1000 shares. Okay, that's what we are going to calculate in this episode. So the moment you hit it, right, you will get the response. So this is the actual response. So if you want to trade in normal, that is in cash and carry mode, you obviously need 560 into 1000, which is 5,60,000 rupees. So this is direct calculation. You don't even have to go to API to get this. But if you use other orders, like an intraday order, okay, so that is MIS order, in that case, what is the margin you need? It's 1,40,000 rupees. This is when this API becomes critical for us, because if you want to use MIS orders, and your margin is based on the MIS orders as well, you definitely need to use this API beforehand, before you initiate any trade. So 1,40,000 rupees is enough to initiate an intraday order. In case you go for super multiple, it's even lower. It's 1,16,000 rupees, because it has both the sides covered, so the margin required will be even less. So now what you can do is, like, you can get the margin required amount or something. You can create another variable, margin required right now or something, and then you can parse this, like we did in the earlier thing, right? So you can just parse it and get the exact margin required in some variable. So inside success, you need to go into the array, and you need to get the MTF margin, and this will give you the margin required. Okay, so now you should be able to see the margin required. Okay, I should use. I didn't pass any value. It should be 0, right? So yeah, you got it in a variable now. What you can do is, like, before you initiate any trade, you can check whether this value, whatever that available, sorry, required margin, is lesser than available margin. I'm just taking this as a example. This is an equity, this is an option, but I'm just example. So if this is due, you can initiate a trade. Okay, initiate trade. Okay, so in place of initiate trade, you can give the script to actually initiate that particular trade using the place order API. Okay, so only if this condition is satisfied, the trade will get initiated. Otherwise, right, we'll get into unnecessary errors. So that is how you need to use these margin APIs. Okay, so if you have any queries about this episode, leave it down in the comment section. Also hit the like, share and subscribe button if you find these videos useful. Thank you.